Welcome to Legends Remembered, a special tribute to the wrestling icons who shaped the sport and left an unforgettable legacy. Their passion and dedication continue to inspire fans worldwide. Today, we also bring you emotional news about Jacob Fatu, whose recent situation has touched many hearts. Join us as we celebrate their lives through heartfelt memories and moving tributes. Subscribe to keep their stories alive and ensure their legacies are never forgotten. Bruiser Brody, born Frank Donald Goodish, was a towering and fearless force in professional wrestling. Standing over 6 feet tall with a wild-eyed glare and an unmatched intensity, Brody became known for his chaotic, hard-hitting style that broke the mold of traditional wrestling. His wild brawls often spilled into the audience, creating an unpredictable and electrifying atmosphere that fans couldn't get enough of. Brody made his mark across the globe, wrestling for major promotions like World Class Championship Wrestling, WCCW, the American Wrestling Association, AWA, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, NJPW. His legendary rivalries with Abdullah the Butcher, Stan Hansen, and the Von Erich family remain iconic in wrestling history. Known for his unrelenting approach and no-nonsense persona, Brody refused to conform to the politics of the industry, often standing up to promoters and insisting on being treated fairly. This fierce independence earned him both admiration and controversy. To fans and peers alike, Brody wasn't just a character, he was the real deal. His larger-than-life presence and genuine toughness made him one of the most respected and feared figures in the business. He was a pioneer of the hardcore brawling style that influenced countless wrestlers who came after him. Tragically, Bruiser Brody's life was cut short at the age of 42, shocking the wrestling world. His remains one of the most talked-about incidents in wrestling history. Yet, his legacy endures. Brody has been posthumously honoured in multiple wrestling halls of fame, and his influence can still be seen in the raw, untamed energy of today's hardcore wrestling scene. Bruiser Brody wasn't just a performer, he was a movement, and his legacy continues to inspire generations of wrestlers. Dino Bravo, born on February 6, 1948 in Montreal, Quebec, was a powerhouse in the world of professional wrestling. Known for his incredible strength and commanding presence, Bravo rose to fame in the late 1960s and became a standout in promotions like the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and World Championship Wrestling, WCW. With a chiseled physique and natural charisma, he quickly earned a loyal fan following. Bravo's career reached new heights during the late 1980s in the WWF. He was a regular fixture in major events, engaging in memorable feuds with stars like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the British Bulldog. His signature move, the side suplex, showcased his brute power and technical skill. Bravo was also a key member of the Dream Team alongside Greg Valentine, solidifying his reputation as one of the era's most formidable competitors. Despite his success in the ring, Bravo's life took a dark turn after retiring from wrestling. He became entangled in organised crime and illegal cigarette smuggling in Canada. Tragically, on March 10, 1993, Bravo was found murdered in his home at the age of 45, having been shot multiple times in what authorities believed was a mob-related hit. His stunned fans and cast a shadow over his wrestling legacy. While the circumstances of his were grim, Dino Bravo is still remembered for his contributions to professional wrestling. His strength, presence, and dedication to the sport left a lasting impact, inspiring future generations of wrestlers. Though his story ended in tragedy, his time in the ring remains a powerful chapter in wrestling history. Black Warrior, born on January 7, 1969, and passing away at the age of 54, was a revered figure in Mexican professional wrestling whose legacy left a lasting mark on the world of lucha libre. Known for his electrifying in-ring style and magnetic persona, he won over fans with his mix of agility, strength, and technical finesse. Launching his career in the early 1990s, Black Warrior quickly rose through the ranks of various promotions in Mexico. His high-flying maneuvers, particularly his top rope Huracan Rana, combined with precise submission holds, made him a versatile and dangerous opponent in the ring. These signature moves, along with his commanding presence, earned him championship gold and a dedicated following. Over the years, he became a fixture in many classic rivalries, clashing with some of the biggest names in lucha libre. These feuds not only elevated his own reputation, but also contributed to some of the most unforgettable matches in the sport's history. Fans admired his intensity and showmanship, while peers respected his deep dedication to the craft. Beyond his in-ring accomplishments, Black Warrior also played a vital role in shaping the future of wrestling by mentoring younger talent. He was known for generously sharing his knowledge, helping groom the next generation of stars, and ensuring the traditions of lucha libre remained strong. His passing was a significant loss to the wrestling community, yet his influence lives on in the matches he headlined, the wrestlers he inspired, and the legacy he built over decades. Black Warrior will be remembered not only as a celebrated performer, but also as a passionate advocate for lucha libre, whose spirit continues to echo in arenas across Mexico and beyond. Vivian Vachon, born on January 23, 1951, in Montreal, Quebec, was a pioneering force in women's professional wrestling and a proud member of the legendary Vachon wrestling family. As the sister of Mad Dog Vachon and daughter of Paul Vachon, she was surrounded by wrestling greatness from an early age. But Vivian didn't just follow in the footsteps of her famous family, she carved out her own legacy in a male-dominated industry. Vivian began wrestling professionally in the late 1970s and quickly made a name for herself with her fierce in-ring presence, charisma, and technical skills. She competed in top promotions like the American Wrestling Association, AWA, and the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, where she stood out as one of the few women who could captivate crowds with both athleticism and personality. Vivian became a fan favourite for her ability to blend toughness with grace, serving as a beacon of what women could achieve in the squared circle during a time when female wrestlers received limited spotlight. Off the mat, Vivian was known for her warm spirit and fierce determination, traits that helped her break barriers for future generations of female wrestlers. Her efforts helped lay the groundwork for the growing respect and recognition of women's wrestling that exists today. Tragically, Vivian Vachon's life was cut short when she died in a car accident at the age of 39. Though her career and life ended far too soon, her legacy lives on. She is remembered as a trailblazer whose influence continues to inspire female wrestlers around the world. Vivian Vachon remains a symbol of resilience, empowerment, and the enduring impact of women in professional wrestling. Her story is one of passion, courage, and lasting influence. Mike Mantor Halak, born May 14, 1968, in Omaha, Nebraska, was a professional wrestler best known for his unforgettable stint in the WWF, now WWE, during the mid-1990s. Though his time in the spotlight was brief, his character, Mantor, a half-man, half-beast creature complete with a bull-like headpiece, became a standout example of the wild and imaginative gimmicks that defined 1990s wrestling. Before stepping into the WWF ring, Halak built his skills across independent promotions in the US and Europe. In 1994, he signed with the WWF and debuted as Mantor in early 1995. With his intimidating size and animalistic persona, he was positioned as a powerful mid-card attraction. Mantor even participated in the 1995 Royal Rumble and squared off against top stars like Razor Ramon and Bam Bam Bigelow. Despite the unique character design and initial fanfare, Mantor struggled to gain lasting traction with audiences. The over-the-top gimmick didn't translate into long-term success, and Halleck left the company later that year. Still, he continued to wrestle on the independent scene, occasionally reviving the Mantar persona. Outside the ring, Halleck contributed to wrestling as a trainer and mentor, helping younger talent learn the ropes. His dedication to the business extended far beyond his brief TV run. Mike Halleck. His passing sparked fond memories among fans who recalled Mantor's wild entrance and larger-than-life presence. Though often viewed as a quirky chapter in wrestling history, Mantor remains a cult favourite, a symbol of an era where anything could happen in the squared circle. Halleck's legacy lives on through the enduring nostalgia for one of wrestling's most bizarre yet beloved characters. Silver King, born Cesar Cuauhtemoc González Barón, was a legendary figure in the world of professional wrestling, known for his vibrant presence in Mexican lucha libre and international promotions. The son of famed luchador Dr. Wagner, Silver King carried on his family's legacy with pride and flair. Adopting a shimmering silver mask and a high-energy style, he quickly made a name for himself in the ring, blending technical grappling with the electrifying spirit of lucha libre. Silver King gained recognition not only in his native Mexico, but also on the global stage. His time in World Championship Wrestling, the WCW, during the late 1990s showcased his abilities to a wider audience, where he competed alongside other international stars in a golden era of cruiserweight wrestling. In Mexico, he formed a successful tag team with El Texano, and the duo became fan favourites for their exciting matches and incredible chemistry, capturing tag team gold along the way. Outside the ring, Silver King demonstrated his charisma through acting, most famously playing the villain Ramses in the 2006 cult comedy Nacho Libre, starring Jack Black. His flair for performance translated seamlessly into film, further solidifying his status as an entertainer beyond wrestling. Tragically, Silver King's life was cut short on May 11, 2019, when he suffered a heart attack during a match in London at the age of 51. His sudden passing stunned the wrestling world and highlighted the physical toll the sport can take. Remembered for his passion, talent, and legacy, Silver King remains an inspiration to aspiring luchadors and fans around the globe. His influence endures as a symbol of dedication, both in the squared circle and in the hearts of those he entertained. Don Serrano, born on July 6, 1961, is a retired professional wrestler known for his work across various regional promotions in the United States during the 1980s and early 1990s. Inspired by the larger-than-life personalities he saw on TV as a child, Serrano developed a deep love for wrestling early on. With relentless dedication, he trained hard, mastering both technical skills and crowd-pleasing theatrics that would define his in-ring style. Serrano made his wrestling debut in the early 1980s and quickly gained a following thanks to his athleticism, charisma, and high-energy performances. Competing primarily on the independent circuit, he became known for blending technical precision with high-flying maneuvers, earning respect from fans and peers alike. His matches were often fast-paced and exciting, showcasing his ability to adapt to a wide range of opponents and match types. A strong presence in tag team wrestling, Serrano stood out for his natural chemistry with various partners and his ability to tell compelling stories in the ring. Though he never reached the international fame of some of his contemporaries, he carved out a loyal fan base and made a meaningful impact on the regional wrestling scene. After hanging up his boots, Serrano remained involved in the sport by mentoring young wrestlers. He, on his knowledge and passion to the next generation, earning admiration for his commitment to wrestling's growth. While his name may not be as widely recognized as some, Don Serrano is fondly remembered by fans and fellow wrestlers as a dedicated performer and a respected figure in the wrestling community. His legacy lives on through the wrestlers he helped shape and the memories he created in the ring. In the world of professional wrestling, few names command as much reverence and anticipation as Jacob Fatu. A towering presence with explosive athleticism and raw intensity, Fatu has rapidly evolved into one of WWE's most compelling new stars. Signed to the SmackDown brand, he's not just another recruit, he's a crucial piece of the ever-expanding legacy of the Bloodline, WWE's most dominant faction in recent years. Hailing from the legendary Samoan wrestling dynasty, Jacob Fatu represents both a continuation of tradition and a fearless break from it. With a ring style that combines brutal power with surprising agility, he's taken the wrestling world by storm. Yet, as his stardom rises, so too have concerns about his well-being. A recent in-ring scare sparked widespread rumours and concern, leading fans to question if this rising juggernaut had already hit an unfortunate roadblock. Let's dive deep into the journey of Jacob Fatu, from his early life and independent circuit dominance to his electrifying WWE debut, and the truth behind the recent injury scare that set the wrestling world abuzz. Heritage forged in the ring. Born on April 18, 1992, in California, Jacob Fatu didn't just stumble into professional wrestling, he was born into it. His bloodline is a who's who of Samoan wrestling royalty. He is the son of Sam Fatu, known to wrestling fans as the Tonga Kid, and the nephew of two larger-than-life legends, WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi and the late ferocious Umaga. Jacob Fatu is also cousins with the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, Solo Sikoa, and none other than the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. Even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is connected to his extended wrestling family tree. That kind of lineage doesn't just open doors, it puts immense pressure on every step taken inside the squared circle. However, Jacob's path to the ring wasn't a straight line. He faced challenges during his youth that briefly diverted him from wrestling. In interviews, Fatu has spoken candidly about legal troubles and difficult choices. But it was these experiences that fueled his eventual rise. Wrestling didn't just become a profession, it became his redemption. To the independent circuit building a beast, Fatu's official entry into the world of professional wrestling wasn't under WWE's bright lights, but through the grit and grind of the independent circuit. It was there that he honed his craft, developed his fearsome in-ring persona, and began drawing comparisons to the greats in his family lineage. His breakout came in Major League Wrestling (MLW) in 2019, where he aligned with the notorious stable Contra unit. The group was presented as an anarchistic, anti-establishment faction, and Fatu, often shirtless, snarling and fearless, was its battering ram. His look was unpolished, raw and intimidating, which only amplified his mystique. Fatu's time in MLW wasn't just memorable, it was historic. His run as MLW World Heavyweight Champion was one of the most dominant reigns in the promotion's history. He defeated top talents like Tom Lawler and Alexander Hammerstone, delivering matches that were both hard-hitting and high-flying. Yes, high-flying. At over 280 pounds, Jacob Fatu shocked audiences with breathtaking moonsaults and springboard attacks more typical of cruiserweights than powerhouses. His unorthodox blend of strength, speed, and ring psychology made him must-watch TV, and WWE took notice. WWE arrival, unleashing a new era of bloodline dominance. In early 2024, Jacob Fatu officially signed with WWE and joined the SmackDown brand. The WWE universe buzzed with excitement, and it wasn't long before he made his presence known. His arrival couldn't have come at a more critical time for the bloodline. Following years of dominance under Roman Reigns, internal fractures had begun to appear in the faction. Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso were walking divergent paths, and Solo Sikoa had stepped up as a silent enforcer. Fatu's introduction was like throwing gasoline on an already blazing fire, adding unpredictability, chaos, and renewed power to the bloodline. Within weeks of debuting, Jacob Fatu laid waste to mid-card talents and interrupted top-tier matches. His mission was clear: protect the family, restore dominance, and destroy anything in the way. And that mission was executed with terrifying efficiency. Fatu's in-ring debut saw him dismantle opponents with bone-crushing suplexes, running hip attacks, a nod to Umaga, and, of course, his signature top-rope moonsault. The WWE Universe had seen monstrous enforcers before, but none who could fly like Fatu. Of the injury scare? What really happened? Despite his early momentum, Fatu's high-risk style led to a frightening moment during a recent SmackDown match against CM Punk. Executing one of his signature moonsaults, Fatu landed awkwardly on his side, causing immediate concern among commentators, fans, and ringside officials. The camera briefly cut away, but the message was clear: something didn't look right. Reports quickly surfaced online, with some outlets suggesting that Fatu had suffered anything from cracked ribs to a concussion. Others jumped the gun entirely, speculating that the incident could derail his burgeoning WWE career. Thankfully, according to a report by Corey Brennan of Fightful, the reality was far less dire. While Fatu did undergo medical evaluation after the match, sources within WWE confirmed that he did not sustain a serious injury. He experienced some pain and was held out of physical contact for a brief period as a precaution, but there was no structural damage or long-term concern. Eager dispelling the rumours, setting the record straight in the age of social media and wrestling insiders, misinformation can spread faster than a 3 count. And when it comes to someone like Jacob Fatu, a rising star with tremendous buzz, every rumour gains traction quickly. Following his awkward moonsault landing, exaggerated reports began making the rounds. Stories of internal bleeding, cracked vertebrae, or forced retirement. None of these were true. WWE's official stance was firm. Fatu is cleared for competition and has not suffered a significant setback. He remains active on the SmackDown roster, and fans can expect to see him return to physical action imminently. Fatu himself has stayed silent on the issue, in keeping with his intimidating, business-first persona. However, those close to him have assured fans that he remains in peak condition and is eager to get back to doing what he does best: destroying opponents. The Warrior's mentality. Resilience beyond the ring. Jacob Fatu's ability to bounce back from adversity isn't limited to physical injuries. His life has been a series of comebacks, from overcoming troubled youth to earning respect in an industry that demands perfection. He's shown remarkable resilience. This isn't just a wrestler who performs. This is a man who has survived. Every slam, moonsault, and promo carries the weight of experience, redemption, and unbreakable will. It's also worth noting that Fatu's conditioning is elite. He trains relentlessly, often posting clips of grueling workouts that include strength training, cardio, and agility drills. This dedication has helped him stay injury-resistant despite his dangerous moveset. Many believe that this mental and physical toughness is what will separate Fatu from others who've joined the bloodline before. While Jey Uso became main event Jey through heart and Jimmy through charisma, Fatu is blazing a path through sheer dominance. As what's next for Jacob Fatu? With his injury scare behind him, Jacob Fatu is back in the hunt, and the future looks massive. There's buzz that Fatu could be positioned as Solo Sikoa's primary ally in the next iteration of the bloodline, especially if Roman Reigns remains absent or transitions into a part-time role. The chemistry between Solo and Fatu is electric. Two stoic monsters delivering silent pain, much like an evolved version of the old-school Samoan SWAT team. There's also speculation about potential feuds with high-profile names like Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, or even Kevin Owens. These matchups would test Fatu's main event potential and push him into storyline prominence. Long-term, it's hard not to imagine Fatu holding singles gold in WWE. Whether that's the United States Championship as a launching pad or a surprise Royal Rumble win down the line, WWE clearly sees him as a long-term investment. And with the bloodline possibly splintering into multiple factions or imploding entirely, Fatu could find himself at the centre of the company's most dramatic and violent story arc. To a legacy in progress, Jacob Fatu's career is still young in WWE terms, but his impact is undeniable. In many ways, he represents the next evolution of the bloodline, less about ceremony and more about carnage. He carries with him the ghosts of his heritage, the power of Umaga, the presence of Yokozuna, and the versatility of Roman Reigns. But he's more than just the sum of those influences. He's building something unique. Fatu's legacy will not be defined merely by titles or win-loss records. It will be defined by the moments he creates, the chaos he incites, the superstars he destroys, and the loyal fans he inspires. Final thoughts. The Samoan wrecking machine is just getting started. Jacob Fatu's story is a rare blend of legacy and revolution. He's a bridge between generations, carrying the pride of his family while forging a brutal new identity. From battling on the independents to decimating superstars on SmackDown, his rise has been nothing short of phenomenal. The injury scare that rattled fans has, thankfully, and Fatu remains one of the most exciting names in WWE today. Whether as the Bloodline's executioner, a future champion, or even a lone wolf in a fractured faction, Jacob Fatu is destined to make history. WWE's landscape is shifting, and the era of Jacob Fatu is just beginning. Buckle up, because this Samoan wrecking machine shows no signs of slowing down.